This is Mac here from jlptbootcamp.com here with two new books from Total Publishing, Tokyo, Capital of Cool, and Cool Japan Guide. And these two books, they're really great for if you're planning a trip to Japan anytime soon, or even if you live in Japan. I think because, for example, this first book, Cool Japan Guide, is great for your first time visiting Japan if you're interested in what kind of things to expect that aren't in your typical travel guide. So, for example, if you read your typical travel guide, it'll tell you, go to Kyoto and see Kiyomizu Temple and go to the Golden Pavilion in Kyoto or something. But this is a little bit different in the sense that it kind of points out some of the local things, kind of the special things you can do in Japan. For example, getting calligraphy done at the different stalls at the temples and shrines and things. They can do the calligraphy in the book that make a good souvenir, as well as small little things that you don't really typically see. For example, if you go to Osaka, there's Biriken, which is this statue in Tsutenkaku, which is kind of this, I don't know how to say, but it's kind of Osaka's answer to some of the things that Tokyo has to offer. It's interesting, very eclectic place. A lot of tourists don't go to, but it's getting a little bit more popular in Osaka. Of course, it also kind of goes over the typical stuff like the new Tokyo Skytree, which is one of the largest freestanding towers in the world. And even some other things like, for example, Takarazuka Review, which offers shows that are all the performers are women. Kind of goes over different things like that in different seasons to visit, the basics of doing a homestay, even going over toilets and what toilets can do in Japan. If you're not familiar, toilets are very a big high-tech thing in Japan. They have a lot of fancy features in them. So kind of goes over basic stuff that you would need to know on your first visits to Japan, which is great. And if you're interested in manga, it kind of goes over some extra information about where to pick up where to go shopping for things and where to go for different shows and things, the comic conventions in Japan. So, but even if you don't like manga, it has a lot of different things that kind of point out the pop culture of Japan. So, kind of a good book. I learned a lot, even though I've lived here for a good 10 years. There's a lot of things in there. In this book that I've never heard of, and now I want to go see. Another book that is really helpful if you're visiting Japan soon is Tokyo, Capital of Cool. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of Tokyo usually. I usually tell people, you only need to spend about 2 days in Tokyo, and that's about it. Maybe do the Sky Tree, see a couple of the shrines, and call it a day. But this book kind of proves me wrong. It has a lot of great things that you can do, and points out kind of the interesting things. For example, the different districts, of course, but also the architecture of Tokyo, which Tokyo doesn't usually end up being kind of well known for being an architectural kind of city, but also very trendy. There's a lot of people that dress up in very interesting clothes in Tokyo. It's very interesting to go people watching there. Always tons of food. I've heard that I think Tokyo has more highly rated Michelin restaurants, as in Michelin, the food guide, than Paris. So lots of good food to take up, and the book itself is just really beautiful. They've really done a lot of work with the layout and great pictures, so that if if you've never been to Japan, you can read this, kind of get a feeling for Tokyo, and then after you've been to Japan and you go back to the States or wherever, you can kind of have this as a souvenir to see what different kinds of things that you saw, and the different places that you visited, and kind of read more in depth about things. So it's pretty cool. Great book, wonderful pictures and things about Tokyo, such a crazy city to go to. It's available now. Both of these books are available at Amazon in the States, as well as they should be available Amazon in Japan. And if you're interested in picking these up, be sure to visit the links below this video. I'll have links to where you can pick both of these up on Amazon.com in the States and in Japan. So pick them up if you're interested in visiting Japan to get the most out of your trip, and enjoy Japan. Cool Japan.